Dragon Masters, Wave of the Sea Dragon. Chapter 9. Tricked. Drake stepped out into the open. His shadow moved across the sand. "How can I trust you?" Drake asked the wizard. As Asteroid located the sound of his voice, her eyes fixed on the shadow. "Give me that branch," she said as she floated over to the still swirling pool. "I'll go right back to nab it and finish my spell." Drake took a deep breath. "I have to give up the branch," he thought. "It is the only way to stop Asteroid from hurting more of my friends." He reached for the branch inside his pocket. He knew what he needed to do. Drake bit his lip and pressed his finger against the throne. He was no longer a shadow. He walked up to the asteroid. "Here you go," he said, holding the branch up to her. She took it from him and tucked it into her belt. A huge grin spread across her face. "Oh, you're a sweet, trusting boy," she said. Magical energy cracked from her fingertips. Asteroid pointed at both. Red light struck from his fingertips and hit the boy's dragonstone. The stones turned black. Zap, zap, zap. She hit Opali and Manawa's eye stones next. They turned black too. She lied, Drake thought. I can let her jab my dragonstone. I don't think Worm would use his powers without me. But I can't take that chance. He ran back into the trees. Asteroid grabbed an empty bottle from her belt. Now I will attack your dragons, and they will attack me back, she cried, cackling with laughter. Then I will steal their powers. Manawa sprang toward. No, you won't, he yelled. Manawa pushed Asteroid as hard as he could. Then he threw back into the sand. Asteroid's mouth opened in shock as she fell backward into the pool. No! She wailed. Chapter 10. Fire and Water. The portal closed. The evil wizard was gone. Drake ran over and helped Manawa to his feet. Manawa, that was awesome, Drake said. Manawa grinned. Thanks, he said. Yes, you stopped Asteroid from stealing our dragon's powers, Bo said. But now that she has the branch, she can cast the Belize Life spell. Drake nodded. I know, it was a hard choice, and I'm sorry I trust her, she said. Why did she around your stones? They're black. Opali closed her eyes, then she opened them. My eye stone doesn't seem to work. I can't hear Kai in my head, and I can hear Tani, Manawa replied. I can't hear Shu either, Bo said. Shu, can you understand me when I speak? Nod off your head if you can. But Shu didn't nod. That is awful, Drake cried. It is, Bo agreed. There must be some way to... Car let out a loud roar and stopped toward the ocean. Car, no! Opeli yelled, running after him. Tiny raised her hand out of the water. Manoa ran to the water's edge and waved his arms. Be calm, Tiny, he begged. Drake turned to Bo. Do you remember the fight from long ago? Now that Manoa and Opeli can keep them calm, Ka and Tiny were going to battle. No, Tiny, Manoa called out. You do not need to find this dragon. Ka let out another earth-shattering roar. His body glowed orange, and he aimed a stream of hot lava at Tiny. The sea dragon ducked under the waves. Then Tiny's head emerged, and her body glowed turquoise. A huge glowing wave rose up behind her and splashed down on Ka. I can't stop Ka, Opeli cried. Manoa shook his fist. Tiny, listen to me. Ka stamped his feet, making the ground shake. White smoke poured from his nostrils. The lightning struck the sky. Opeli gasped. This will sometimes happen when a volcano erupts, she cried. Before the lava pours out, the earth moves, and lightning flashes. Ka raises his head back. Roar! Ka sprawled another stream of hot, bubbling lava from his mouth. Chapter 11. They won't listen. The boiling hot lava almost hit Tiny, but the sea dragon dived under the water. The lava quickly cooled. Ka, enough! Opeli cried. Tiny is not your enemy. Ka roared again and stomped his feet. Opeli shook her head. He won't listen. He doesn't understand me. Tiny doesn't understand me either, Manoa said. Can I ask Worm to communicate with you dragons? Drake asked. Let's see what Worm can do, Manoa replied. Worm had heard Drake. I'll do my best, he said. I will begin with Tiny. Worm moved close to the edge of the water. His body glowed green. Tiny continued to duck and thrash. She is very angry, Worm replied. Tiny says that sea dragons vowed to live in peace when they left the islands of Noah. She is angry with Ka from coming to this land. I cannot calm her, and she told me to tell you this is a matter between dragons, not humans. Can you tell her that Ka didn't come here to start trouble? Drake asked. Worm shook his head. She is too angry to listen to reason. Drake looked down at the ocean. Tiny had stopped stressing, but her body was glowing turquoise. She swam away from the shore. The waves followed her, uncovering the sand below. Is she leaving? Drake asked. Manoa's eyes were wide. No, he said. She is preparing to use her strongest power. We are all in danger. Chapter 12. Save the village. What power is Tiny going to use? Drake asked. He glanced at the ocean. He had never seen it do this before. The water pulled farther and farther from the land. The Narunui, Manoa said, a very, very big wave. We call it a tidal wave on my island, Opeli added. A wave so big it can wipe out a village or even an island. Manawa nodded. Yes. Manawa pointed to the hill. The village is that way. Warn my people. Tell them to get to higher ground. Everyone touch Worm, Drake cried. We can get there quickly. I must stay here, Manawa said. It is my sworn duty to protect Tani and to protect others from Tani. I need to keep trying to connect with her. I must stay as well, Patty cried. I am responsible for Ka. But now, Manawa and Patty, Drake began. Manawa shook his head. Just go and save my village. Hurry! The wave is coming! There is no time! Operi cried. An enormous wave was heading toward the shore. It glowed with tiny turquoise light. The wave looked to Drake as tall as King Roran's castle. Bo, touch Worm and shoot, Drake cried, and Bo quickly obeyed. Drake put a hand on his dragon. Now, Worm, transport us to the village. Now, Worm, transport us into the village. Worm transported them right away. They landed in a village filled with huts that reminded Drake of his village in Dragon. The villagers gathered around Drake, Bo, and the dragons. Pania pushed through the crowd. See, I told you, she said. Baby dragons. Bo stepped forward. A narrow night is coming, he said. We must head for top of the hill. Wait, where is Manawa? Pania asked. And your other friends, Operi? Drake gazed out toward the ocean. He could see the enormous wave getting closer and closer. Manawa bravely stood on the rock with his hands on his hips. Operi stood unstood. Raka roared and stomped on his feet at the sand. We have to get this to safely, Drake said. I know, Worm agreed. Bo, we'll be right back, Drake said. Help the villagers get away. Then Drake touched his dragon, and they transported back down to the shore. The end.